How's it going everyone? Welcome to another drawing tutorial. In this one I'm going to show you how to create a range of different scenes in perspective. And yeah, we've been covering perspective drawing quite a lot recently, but it's something that I think is quite often overlooked. It's a fundamental which is pretty much involved in everything, so I enjoy making videos on the subject and I think you'll find this one useful. It's all about how we can change the result of our drawing by adjusting the level of the horizon line and the location of the vanishing points. So yeah, let's get into this. Okay, so I've drawn out quite a few boxes here and each one of these will be a different example. These are the picture planes, and if you've seen the video where I cover the cone of vision and how to accurately plan a drawing that way, then you'll be familiar with this. I'd recommend going to watch some of the previous videos which I've done on perspective drawing because I cover a lot of useful stuff in them. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw these in freehand and start with the simple 1 point perspective. So in this first one you've probably seen something similar to this before. We have the horizon line across the middle and then the vanishing point in the centre. We use this to construct some building lines with them converging towards that point. It's a pretty simple process, but all of these have a lot of potential. The purpose of this video is to see how the drawing can be planned and influenced by changing the different aspects like the horizon and vanishing points. So moving down, let's lift the horizon line up towards the top of the picture plane. Also, I'm moving the vanishing point to the right just a little bit. Now from other videos I've done, we know that if something is below the horizon line, then we will be looking down on the subject. So here I'm bringing these lines from the vanishing point to draw the same scene in a different perspective. I'll be drawing the same scene in all of these examples, except it will be from different viewpoints and angles. So in this next one we are still working in 1 point perspective, but I'll drop the horizon line lower down, and as I draw the same scene you'll see how this gives us a lower view of the street. So moving on to the next one, I'm going to draw in 2 point perspective. I have the horizon line across the middle again, and these vanishing points can be placed anywhere on the horizon. It's important to realise that a lot of the time these will be away from the picture plane, therefore you might have to estimate the direction of the converging lines. This becomes easier with practice, and with this example I'm bringing some lines from where these points would be to construct what is essentially a grid. I have an idea of where I want to place these buildings, I then just have to draw them in whilst considering the convergence towards the vanishing points. Also, I'm quickly rendering these in pencil just so it makes a better looking thumbnail for this video. So like we did in 1 point perspective, I'm bringing the horizon line higher, and because of this I'll get a view from above looking down on the street. Changing the level of the horizon line can lift your view up and down, but changing the location of the vanishing points will let you achieve different angles. Now let's take a 2 point perspective view from low down on the street level by lowering the horizon. Also, these examples are in time lapse. I'm not spending too much time rendering in pencil. The important part is looking at the construction. Okay, so now in these last 3 examples we are going to take a different approach. This one will be drawn with a consideration of 3 vanishing points. Let's take a view of the taller building which is in the other examples and use a third lower vanishing point to emphasise the convergence. This third vanishing point is always located above or below the horizon, and like the others it's normally away from the picture plane. You also never want to place these vanishing points too close together as it will distort the drawing. So let's try something different here and create a diagonal horizon line. This might seem uncommon, but it's a technique that results in the drawing looking more dynamic. This is used often in comics to give the drawing a sense of motion and unease. In this 2-point construction, I still keep the vertical lines parallel to the tilted horizon line. So in this final example, I'm going to draw this scene in a curvilinear perspective, also referred to as a fisheye view. I'm going to be exploring this more in future videos, but a grid is very useful in the construction. And I'm drawing in all of this freehand, so the result might not be 100% accurate, but in the end it gives a completely different image when compared to the rest. So that's a few examples of the same scene constructed and drawn in a different perspective. I'm going to also put this image on Instagram, so feel free to head over there if you want to study it further. So there we go, I hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, then please leave a like because it really helps me out. I'll also be uploading that final image at the end there over on Instagram, so if you want to check that out for further study then you can. And that's pretty much everything from me today. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.